Okay, guys. Hey, so for those of you who don't know me, my name is Hope Weston, and I'm a double diamond with It Works. I've been in since September of 2015, and tonight we are going to go over messaging for newbies, and this is part of kind of a series that I'm doing with some of the other leaders on our team, just to kind of go over the basics of building this business. So just like I did at the beginning of the last training that we did, I want to just kind of go over those basics. And then I'm going to have an up-and-coming emerging leader who's going Ruby this month share with us just a couple of her newbie messaging tips. And then we're just going to go over a few things to hopefully help you guys have success with messaging. So the basics of our business, of building a business on social media, is posting, messaging, adding new people, and following up. And then the fifth kind of unspoken one is personal development and positivity and optimism. So we did our posting training on Tuesday. Tonight we're talking about messaging, and I think that this is one of the more intimidating parts of this business, especially when you first get started, because maybe you feel like you have no idea what you're talking about. So you feel like, how the heck am I supposed to reach out to people and have these conversations with them when I literally have no idea what I'm even supposed to be talking to them about or how I'm supposed to talk to them. So luckily, that's why we're here. And that's why you have your upline and your enroller and our whole team. And I know that everyone is in at least one team chat, and that is going to be the best possible resource for you to get help with messaging. But hopefully this will just go over some of the basics. We'll go over some of the common fears or misconceptions about messaging. And you guys will be able to charge forth feeling confident in your abilities. So I think I'm going to have Alyssia take it away for a minute. She has a couple of tips that I think are just really good reminders about messaging. So let me, I'll unmute you, Alyssia. Hold on. Okay, you're unmuted. So will you just tell us just real quick, just who you are and where you're from, and then just give us I know you have a couple of tips, so go for it.
Okay, so my name's Alyssia. I'm from North Carolina, but I live in South Carolina. And I have two tips that I wanted to share with y'all. One of them is about cold messaging. When I started this business, I was super afraid to cold message. I was super afraid to reach out to people. I didn't want to be weird. I didn't want to be annoying. And I was also afraid of not knowing something. But don't be afraid to cold message people. Once you've added people, once you have interacted with that person, you shouldn't be afraid to message that person. So just don't be afraid to cold message. And the second tip I wanted to share with y'all was, when you have questions, ask them. You're in these group chats together for a reason. You have your leaders for a reason. Screenshot your conversations, send them in the group chats, send them to your leader, whoever you feel comfortable sending it to, and you'll be surprised with what you learn just from asking questions and making sure your knowledge is on point.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And you're just so right, because I think that you learn, the best way you're going to learn how to have conversations with people is by having conversations with people. Wouldn't you agree that you're not going to learn anything better? Yeah, exactly.
If you don't try.
Absolutely. And I know that Alyssia is one of those people who started off kind of slow. I know she always tells a story she didn't even open her Starter Kit at first. She didn't know that she wanted to do it. And she kind of was in the background, but I kept bugging her, and so eventually she messaged me back, and I'm just so stinking proud of her. She's went executive a couple months ago, but she'll be going Ruby this month, and she's just been kick-ass at enrolling customers, kick-ass at enrolling distributors. So thank you for reminding us of those things. Those are really important things to know as a newbie, because you're just terrified.
I just knew I was scared to ask questions. I was scared to message people. And now I've realized that it's just nothing to be scared.
Yes.
And you used
Absolutely.
to be a total stranger to me, and now you're like one of my best friends. I feel
and
like
that's exactly
anytime.
the beautiful thing about this business, guys. And that right there is the reason why you should not be scared to message people, because the very next person who you've never talked to before, who you message, literally might become your best friend.
Exactly.
That's the beauty of this business. That's the power of this business. I love it. Okay, guys. So thank you, Alyssia, for coming on and for giving us some pointers. So one of the few things that I want to talk about is like, where do you message from? Like, I know a lot of people are like, I want to message, but like, where do I even find people to message? So a really good tip, especially when you get started, is to go into your Instagram followers and scroll down to the very bottom, because those are going to be the the people that have been following you for the longest. And, you know, I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this. I guess what I'm trying to say is that there is a lot of kind of misconception about this term cold messaging. A cold message is when you have absolutely no connection with somebody and you send them a message. What we do is not cold messaging, okay? I wish there was another phrase for it. Like, I wish we could call it something different, but I guess technically it is called cold messaging because you've never messaged them before. But at the end of the day, if they're friends with you on Facebook, or if they're following you on Instagram, it is not a cold message, okay? They have accepted your friend request. They have accepted your follow. They have followed you back. Like, that is not a cold message, okay? So when somebody says, oh, blah, 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 cold messaging, you can be like, actually, we're friends on Facebook, or actually, you are following me on Instagram. So I apologize if I bothered you, but, I didn't think it would be a problem to reach out to you. So I just wanted to kind of clarify that for people who are thinking like, oh, but people get so mad at cold messaging. Well, yeah, if you just go to your Facebook Messenger and type in the name Jessica and start messaging every Jessica there ever was on Facebook, regardless of whether or not she's your friend, then yeah, that's spammy and that's bad. You don't want to do that. You don't want to turn people off like that. But if this is somebody who, especially if you're starting at the bottom of your Instagram followers, has been following you on Instagram for as long as you've had one, that's not a cold message. It's reaching out to an acquaintance. Which is literally what we do. That's our job, is to reach out to people. And so that's the other thing that I just want to, tell you guys is that I know we just did this training on posting, and you guys are probably kind of getting the hang of, talking about why you joined the business, talking about the products. Posting is not asking, guys. You can post every single day for a year, but it's not the same as going to somebody and asking them, hey, I have these products. Are you interested? Hey, I have this opportunity. Are you interested? And just asking that is your job. Your job is to ask. Your job isn't to always get yeses, and you won't always get yeses, okay? Some people are not going to be interested. Some people are going to say no. Some people are going to ignore you. I've been in this business for 2.5 years, and it still happens to me on a daily basis. But you have to take every no as a not right now, and every ignored message as a planted seed. Because if you're messaging somebody, even if they don't respond, even if they say no thank you, the chances are they're going to your profile, which is how this connects to our basic of posting. So if you message somebody, hey girl, sorry if this is out of the blue, but you seem super sweet from your profile, so I wanted to ask if you would be interested in trying some of our products. They're all plant-based. Like, can I give you more info? Okay, so that she reads your message and she's like, who is this? And she goes to your profile and she starts looking at your pictures. Maybe she watches your story. Like, you have to realize that most of these people, whether or not they respond or whether or not they say they're interested, they're at least going to go look at your profile. So make sure they have something to look at when they get there. Make sure there's something about your business. There's something about the products for them to look at and read more about when they go to your profile. So yes, we message because we're asking people and we want to get responses and we want people to be interested and we want to enroll customers and we want to enroll distributors. But at the end of the day, I don't send 100 messages a day because I think I'm going to get 100 responses. I send 100 messages a day because I've spent the past 2.5 years building my following of on Instagram from 40 followers to over 11,000 followers. And I want to be reaching out to those people because there are people who will watch you post day in and day out, but they will not reach out to you first. I cannot tell y'all how many times I have messaged somebody and they've said, oh yeah, I've seen your post. I meant to message you about the wraps, but I just forgot, or I just didn't get around to it. It's like, can you imagine if I would have been like, oh, I'm not going to message them. I've never talked to them before. Or like, I don't want to do that. Like, I would have missed out on a sale and they were interested. It's not their job to reach out to you guys. This is your business. It's your job to reach out to these people and just ask the question. Are you interested? Can I give you more info? Is this something you would be interested in? So that's what I kind of wanted to talk about next is writing your own messages, okay? There is like so many different like message ideas that you can send, but the best message that you can send is one that you come up with yourself. So I try to stay away from words like model, like product model, or like product tester, because sometimes people can think that that means for free. So I always just try to say like, I'm looking for people to try with my discount, or I'm looking for people to use for 90 days with my discount. So I try to make it very clear in the initial message that I'm offering, you know, that they're going to have to buy something, right? If you say, oh, I'm looking for product models, there's a very good chance they're going to go, oh yeah, that sounds great. And you're going to talk to them until they get to the price. And then they're going to be like, wait, I thought it was free. So just be aware that your wording does make a difference in terms of, sorry, I'm just trying to keep up with the chat. Yes, exactly. Bailey is the girl who got me started. We've been in pretty much the exact same amount of time. And she said, I've legit have so many more messages saying, thank you for reaching out than I have received rude responses back. And it's so true. And that's just, you know, I want you guys to really like, thank you, Bailey, for saying that, because I really want you guys to understand that like when you're offering somebody this business or these products, are you not offering them a gift? Like, are you not offering them something amazing, something that's changed your lives, something that's changed other people's lives? Like, if you are nervous to reach out to somebody, to message somebody, it's because you don't believe full force in what you're offering. I believe 100% with my entire being that when I'm offering someone to try our products, that I am offering them something so freaking amazing, I cannot help but ask them if they're interested, because that's how much I love our products. And the same thing with the opportunity. So you have to just kind of buy in, even if you're brand new, even if you haven't tried the products yourself. You kind of just have to, you know, take our team's word for it, take our team's testimonies, and just go for it, because that is the best way to share about these products, is when you believe in them 110%. So the best way to write your own message is to go into the notes of your phone, whether it's an iPhone or Android, turn on your voice messenger and just talk like you're talking to somebody in front of you. Hey girl, would you be interested in trying the products that I have at a 90-day discount? Like, that's going to sound like you, however you would say it. Okay, so just use my guidelines, stay away from models, stay away from tester, try to throw the word discount in there, but make it sound like you. Obviously there's tons of different message ideas, and if you absolutely cannot come up with one that you like, then we're happy to give you one, but your friends and family will appreciate you, and even the people you're reaching out to will appreciate you being genuine and sending a message that you personally came up with. So the next question that I've been getting a lot is just like, where do you message from? And so, like I said, you can scroll to the bottom of your Instagram followers. You can, there is a way to print your Facebook friends list. There's a YouTube, I'm not going to go over it in this video. There's a YouTube video, there's articles. You can print your Facebook friends list and you can go through that way. You can just start at the top of your Facebook friends list at the letter A and work your way down. The most important thing that you're doing, at least in the beginning, is just make sure you've been connected with them for a while. Okay, make sure you're not messaging people the day that you add them, or even like the week that you add them. Okay, really try to make sure like there's some weeks, if not some months, in between you adding them and them getting a message from you, because that gives them a chance to see your post and to reach out to you first if they're genuinely interested. The other place that I always tell my newbies to message is literally just in the contacts of your phone. Because chances are, if you have their phone number, you know them in real life. Like you have a personal connection with them. So one of the things that I was asking some people what I should put in here tonight, one of the things that got mentioned was what we call your chicken list. And this is literally a list of people that you are too chicken to reach out to. That's why it's called your chicken list. And I implore you as new distributors to please reach out to them, okay? Even if you think there is no way in hell that they are gonna be interested in these products or this business, you have to just ask. You have to just ask. You can even make it funny. You can say, hey, I know you're probably gonna think this is ridiculous, but I just started this business and I'm looking for people to try the products, and I had to ask. I've used that line so many times. I'm so sorry, I just had to ask. Would you be interested in this? Especially the people that you're nervous to reach out to. Because guess what? If you don't ask them, the answer is always no. So the worst thing that can happen is that they say no, which is the answer if you don't ask them anyways. So you have to. I triple dog dare you to reach out to the people that you're the most scared to reach out to, and let us help you walk through those conversations. Okay. So, another thing I've been getting asked a lot is how much you should be messaging. And that depends entirely on the kind of network that you have before you get started. Okay. So if you have thousands and thousands of Instagram followers when you start your business, that's fantastic. And you should definitely be messaging like hundreds of people a day. But if you're like me and you had like 40 followers on Instagram and like 300 friends on Facebook, then you want to like be growing your following and be messaging maybe like 20 or 25 people a day. That way you're giving yourself that time to continue to be consistent and send new messages every day while you're growing your following on the other side. But if you have thousands and thousands of people, like, you just hit it, guys, because I message 100 people a day. That's after 2.5 years of, growing my following, interacting with the people that are on my Instagram and my Facebook already. And so I probably have about 18,000 total connections on Facebook now. So messaging 100 people a day is actually less than I probably should be. So, hold on one second. So, Danielle says, you can also say that you were nervous to ask. And when I say that, people are usually like, girl, don't be nervous, which is so true. So you can say, okay, I was super nervous to ask you, but like I had to. Like, would you be interested in this? Yep. This is a little out of my comfort zone, but I just had to reach out. Exactly. Just be honest. You don't have to act like you're 100% confident in yourself. You can be honest. You can say, this is not entirely comfortable for me, but I literally just had to ask. I have 2 girls who, like, I had a huge falling out with in middle school. Like, hello, raise your hand if you just had like a terrible time in middle school, because me. And so I ended up, I don't even know how it happened, but I ended up friending these girls on Facebook at some point. And when I came across their names, when I was going through my friends list, my first reaction was like, I don't even want to offer this to them. They were so rude when we were 12. Like, those girls suck. And then my husband was like, Hope, that was like 11 years ago. Like, just get over yourself and send them a message. And one of them ended up becoming a loyal customer. So you literally just never, ever know, which is why you always, always ask. Okay. Always, always. So, really quickly, I just want to go over kind of what a basic loyal customer conversation and a basic distributor conversation. And I'm going to go over it somewhat quickly, okay? Because we're recording this, so you guys can go back and watch it and go back and clarify. And then I'm just going to open the floor to any other questions that you guys have about messaging, finding people to message, how to message, anything like that. So a very basic customer conversation is, maybe there's two different ways to approach somebody, right? There's the person who maybe they commented on a Hosta post, or maybe they commented on one of your posts, or they voted on your Instagram story. And so you're messaging them and saying, hey, I saw you were interested in blank. Can I give you more info? Danielle has a really good trick for Instagram stories. Instead of saying, hey, I saw you voted on my story, she just says, hey girl, I have one more spot for whatever product it was that she was talking about, and I thought of you, would you be interested? And that's been working really well for her. So there's that way to reach out to somebody, because they've already commented or they've already voted on your story. And then there's the way where you're literally just reaching out to somebody. You haven't talked to them before, they haven't liked anything, you're just messaging them and you're saying, hey girl, like I said, record your own, but I've been saying, hey, quick question. And then when they respond, I've been saying, I was looking at your page and I just think you're so gorgeous. I'm looking for people to try out some products at my discount, and I'd love to have you in my portfolio. You wouldn't have to pay full price. We have over 50 different products. Would you be interested? So like there's gosh, guys, there's just so many different, this is a longer one that I use sometimes. Hey girly, I usually let people message me, but you seemed super sweet and I figured it didn't hurt to reach out to you. I'm looking for someone to try out a product or two for 3 months and give me a review of how you liked it. I have a spot open for our greens detox, our hair, skin, nails, our anti-stress vitamin, and our hydrating body wraps. You get my personal discount for life too. Is this something you would be interested in? So that one's a little bit longer. So you send the initial message, okay? So if you're messaging them from a Hosta post, or you're messaging them from a story, then you already know exactly what products you're talking to them about. So you're saying, hey girl, you're interested in growing out your hair? And they go, heck yes I am. And you say, okay, awesome. We have this amazing vitamin. It's called Hair, Skin, Nails. It's non-GMO. You give them your little script for hair, skin, and nails. And you say, does that sound good? In a conversation where you're messaging them first to ask them if they would be interested, the next step is to figure out what they would be interested in. So there's a few different ways to do this, and I've done it a few different ways. So the first thing that you can do is you can say, you message somebody, you say, would you be interested? They say, yeah, I think I would. You say, cool, so we have tons of different things to try, like skincare and vitamins. We have products for better sleep, more energy, longer hair, anti-stress, and more. Over 50 products, all plant-based. And then this is, for me personally, I would say my absolute favorites are our greens detox, vegan protein shake, keto coffee, and our anti-stress vitamin. Do you have any health goals right now? And I think that is the super important part of the loyal customer conversation, especially if you're reaching out to them. Make it about them. Ask them what their goals are, and make sure you're recommending things that are going to be best for their situation. So the other thing that you can send when they say they're interested is you can say, okay, awesome. So first tell me some things you might be interested in, and we can go from there. I have wraps to tighten and tone, greens for detoxing your body, Confianza for stress management, HSN for hair and nail growth. We also have a whole line of skincare, and we have this amazing new option for anyone who is looking to lose 10 to 20 pounds. I usually recommend the System or the Fit 30 if they say that. And then I say which sounds like what you would prefer. So I'm either asking them what their health goals are, or I'm giving them this list and asking them what they would want to try. So either way, now we're back to the same step in both messaging scenarios, okay? Telling them about the products. It is so easy to word vomit about our products, okay? I know, because all of our products have so many amazing benefits, so many, incredible ingredients, all of this stuff. So please get yourself a script, okay, for the products. It should be like 1 to 3 sentences about the product, and you can use it over and over and over again. So like for example, for the wraps, I say the wraps are a lotion infused cloth with botanical ingredients that tighten and tone the skin through intense hydration. No squeezing and no water loss. The results are permanent with a healthy lifestyle. They just deeply hydrate and metabolize the skin. And that's what I say every single time somebody asks me about the wraps. Somebody asks me about the cleanse. I'm saying the cleanse is aloe-based and gently sweeps out old toxins from your digestive system and replaces it with healthy microflora for your best health. It's just 2 bottles a day for 2 days, and yes, you can eat while doing it. So after all of these scripts, and you can write them up yourself using your website, using the product coach, using your e-suite, or you can ask in the chat and I can send you the one I have. Danielle can send you the one she has. Bailey can send the one she has. So you can do that, or you can write your own. But the most important thing is that you are adding a question at the end of it. So you're talking about their health goals. They say they want to grow out their hair. You send them a thing about hair, skin, nails, and then you ask, does that sound good to you? Or amazing, right? Just something with a question mark at the end because it prompts them to answer. This idea of ending all of your messages with a question is super important because it opens up them to continue the conversation or to give you an answer. So, hey girl, you're interested in growing out your hair? Heck yes, I am. Okay, great. We have this amazing vitamin. It's called Hair, Skin, Nails. It has this, this, and that. Does that sound good to you? They say, yeah, I think that sounds pretty good. Or they ask how much it is. Either way, it leads into this next part of the conversation, which is how do you give the price? You always give the price like it's normally retail price, but it's only discounted price with my 90-day program. Does that work for you? Or does that sound good to you or sound good or whatever you want to say? So you always do, okay, great. Hair, skin, nails is normally $55, but it's only $33 with my 90-day program because you're showing them the price difference. Okay, great. The wraps are normally $99 for a bag of 4, but it's only $59 with my 90-day program. You always do it like that. And then I always say, does that work for you or sound good? Or does that sound good to you? Like whatever question you want to add. So then most people will ask, what's the 90-day program? And if they don't ask what the 90-day program is, they'll just say yes, or they'll say, no, that's much too expensive. And then you can have the conversation about that, about the fact that $33 is expensive. And you should ask them about joining the team if $33 is expensive, because that's why I joined, because Bailey told me that hair, skin, nails was like almost $40 a month. And I was like, I can't afford that. And she was like, you should make money with me. And I was like, yeah, okay, that sounds good. So never be afraid to turn a loyal customer conversation into a potential distributor conversation, okay? So then I'm explaining the 90-day program, and I always explain this the exact same way as well. This is to cover your butt in case someone comes back and says, she didn't tell me it was 90 days. You can literally go, yes, I did. It's right here. So I always explain it like this. The 90-day program is super flexible and simple. It's just 1 order a month for 3 months. It can be anything you want, just at least 1 product. We have over 50 options that start at $25. As long as you don't cancel, your membership is free. After that, the commitment is over and you keep my discount for life. Sound good? And then if they say sound good, if I told them about the product, I told them how much it was, and I explained the 90-day program, and they say sounds good, I'm immediately saying, okay, great. Do you have 5 minutes to place your order on my website? I'm just assuming that they're going to order right now. And then obviously, if they don't get back to me at any point in this conversation, if they say, no, I don't have time right now, or if they say they have to wait till payday, then I'm just saying, okay, cool. When can I put you down for? I'll hold your spot for my discount. They give me a date. I put them in my planner, and then that's a follow-up now. So that goes into our follow-up training that we're going to do next week. So that's basically a loyal customer conversation. And obviously you'll get some variations, and sometimes people will asking about the products. And so that's when we have to revert back to what Alyssia told us at the beginning, which is don't be afraid to ask questions, especially if it's a little more out of the ordinary than normal. Okay. So if you guys have questions about how I talk to loyal customers, you can put it in the chat, but that's my basic loyal customer conversation. So then distributor conversations are a little bit different, okay? And there's a lot of videos by a lot of different people on how to enroll distributors. But I think the most important thing that I could tell you as a newbie is if you're talking to somebody about the products and they say they're too expensive, or if you've messaged them about the products and they say they're broke, bring up the opportunity. That's okay, girl. I totally understand. That's actually why I started my business. Have you ever thought about adding an extra income? Or have you seen anything about what I'm doing now? But the other important thing about a distributor conversation is to not only explain to them what we do, but to really ask them why this would be good for them. Okay, there's this WIIFT, what's in it for them. And that's a super important part of talking to anybody about this business. Okay, so you want to make sure that if you are talking to somebody about this opportunity, about joining the business, that you know what their why is. And I ask that in a really simple way. At some point in the conversation, I'm always saying, so what would $200 to $800 a month do for you? And I can gauge how important it is to them based on their response. Okay, so if they're like, oh, it would be kind of nice to put in savings, then I'm thinking like, I'm not saying they're not going to be good at this business. I'm just saying they don't have a fire under their butt. And so they're probably not going to work as hard as the person who responds back to me and goes, oh my gosh, an extra $300 would literally help so much. I could buy groceries. I could buy diapers. I could get gas in my car. Like if I made enough, like maybe I could go get a new car. Like that is the kind of person that I want to make sure that I'm keeping close tabs on, because I know that they need this opportunity. And I know why they need this opportunity. So the other thing that I make sure that I do in the distributor conversation is asking people if they're coachable and motivated. And I do this for a couple of reasons. Number one is because those are the kinds of people that I want on my team. And even when you're brand new, those are the kinds of people you should want on your team. I know what it's like to be brand new and be like, I will literally give you my left hand if you just join my team because I want to promote so bad. Do not do that, okay? If you have to convince someone to join, you're going to have to convince them to work. So the most important part about messaging for and messaging with potential distributors is just that you're really finding people who both want this and are willing to be self-motivated, are willing to be coachable. The other reason I ask that is because psychologically, if you ask somebody if they're coachable and they say yes, they are going to be more likely to be coachable when they do sign up. They're going to be more likely to be self-motivated when they do sign up. So just make sure that you're putting that out there, because you're basically telling them what kind of person you're looking for. And that it should be the kind of person you're looking for, somebody who's willing to learn and somebody who's willing to work hard. So and then I always just try to tell my story too. Okay, that's the other most important part of talking to distributors about potential distributors is just make sure that you've really explained what this business has done for you or what it's going to do for you. And this is where you just get to have so much fun, because as a newbie, you get to pick. You get to pick. You can literally say anything. You can say, well, I'm going to be a diamond making a full-time income by the end of summer. And that is going to mean so much to me and my family. And I can't believe that this opportunity came to me at such a perfect time. You can say, oh my gosh, girl, I think you sound so perfect for this. You know, I got started just last week because bills were piling up and my car broke down and I just decided enough was enough. So I sold some baby stuff and I paid only $49 because it's only $49 right now. And I got my business started and now I'm going towards a $5,000 bonus. I would love to help you do this too. Like, are you interested in getting started? You get to have fun with this as a new person, because you literally get to say whatever your goal is, whatever your dream is. I know Bailey will attest to this. When I was Emerald going diamond for a year, I talked about going diamond for a year. And I used to say that in every conversation that I had with a potential distributor. Like, literally, I would be talking to them and they'd be like, oh, like, so how much money do you make? And I would be like, well, I'm going to be a diamond this month. And I literally said that for 12 months. Like, I literally said, well, I'm going to be a diamond this month every single month until it happened. So you can do the same thing, okay? Nobody called me out on it. Like, nobody, that's literally, it's so funny going back. She just said on my On This Day post on Facebook, every single day was like, I'm going diamond. Like, and it's great because we got to pick that. And now we are both diamonds and above. And so, you know, we just said it until it was true, which is part of our positivity training that we'll do next week as well. But that's a distributor conversation, you know, just being real. And one of my favorite things to do is to put the $99 or right now $49 investment into my story. So I'm telling them about the $99 while I'm explaining how I found the $99. That way they know they're not alone. like I say it in my story. I say like, so when she told me that it was $99, you know, my heart just dropped because I knew that I didn't have that extra money, but I looked at my credit card debt and I looked at my husband and I looked at our future and I decided, what the heck is an extra $100? Like, you have to, like, if it's worth enough to you, like, you will find a way to do it. Like, you just will. And that's what I did. And now this is what it's done for me, or this is what it's going to do for me, depending on where you are in your business. Yes, exactly, Bailey. They don't care how much money you're making. They just want to hear that you're not going anywhere, basically. If somebody is talking to you about being a distributor, they just want to know that you are dedicated and motivated. Because if you're dedicated and motivated and they join your team, that means you're going to show them how to make money too. And that's, at the end of the day, your dedication and your motivation and your passion is what seals the deal with customers, with distributors, with everyone. So I think that's about all I wanted to go over in terms of messaging. I knew this one would be a little bit shorter because messaging is, although one of the more intimidating parts of our business, is actually one of the shorter parts of our business, because before you message them, you're interacting with them. And after you message them, it's a follow-up, which is a training that we're going to do next week about following up. So the actual just act of messaging somebody for the first time, or unsending and resending messages on Instagram, which I do a lot. Yes, you literally just hold down on the message you sent before, you hit unsend, it unsends it, and you can send another one. It's magic. You can't do that on Facebook, so don't try. Not text messages either. only Instagram. But the art of messaging new people every day is what will keep your business growing. And I've been telling this a lot to my newbies, especially those of you who are maybe feeling discouraged because maybe you haven't gotten your first customer yet, or maybe you've gotten one, but that's it. You cannot base your success on enrollments when you start this business. You have to base your success on, are you making good posts? Are you sending messages every day? Are you adding new people every day? And are you keeping an organized list of the people who are interested? Those are the things that you want to let define your success in this business. How many new potentials are you getting on your list or in your planner on a daily basis? I don't enroll someone every day. Jade Hooper doesn't even enroll somebody every day. But you know that we're out here getting new names every day, messaging new people every day, having new conversations. And that is what makes me successful. That's what makes Diamonds and Above successful. So just that repetition. So I know this is like on the spot, Bailey. I don't know if Abby is like screaming right now, but didn't you say that you figured out like your numbers for like how many people you had to message like to get a response?
Yes. So a couple months ago, I played around with, this is why I was muted.
That's fine. It's fine. I figured it's fine.
Okay. So a couple months ago, I played around with my numbers, and I basically kept a track of like how many people I was messaging as opposed to how many responses I was getting, as opposed to how many people said yes, how many people asked questions, and how many people said no. And basically it came down to, for every 10 people that I messaged, I got one response back. And it was like, most of them were yeses. So if I messaged 100 people, chances were by the end of that 100 messages, I was talking to 10 people. And only like 3 or 4 of them were no's. So messaging 100 people, I'm having 7 different conversations with people who want to know more information or who are ready to order right off the bat.
I love that. And I would say too, like, especially if you're messaging on Instagram, like if you're messaging those 100 people, like the 90 that didn't respond, like you'll just remessage them next week.
Yeah, or like,
so like it doesn't matter.
Yeah, and like the number 10 was like people who responded the same day. So like people would even respond the next morning or the next night.
Right. Which is why I love messaging at night, because I love waking up to like fresh messages.
30 messages.
Yes. Yep. Like I wake up and I've got 50 messages in my inbox and I'm like, oh yeah.
I did work last night.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, thank you so much. So just know, guys, like even as diamonds and above, like we still have to play this numbers game. And what I mean by numbers game is that you have to be reaching out to new people every day. And just because they don't respond or they say no right now doesn't mean that they won't order, and it doesn't mean they won't be interested down the line. Message to get that yes, okay? Message to get that yes. Keep messaging until you get it. And that's about it. That's all I have for you guys, unless you guys have any more questions or anything. But I'm just super excited to get you guys out there and get you guys messaging, because like we said at the beginning, the best way to learn how to do this is just go out and do it. Send us as many screenshots as you want. You're not annoying us. We actually want you to send us screenshots. It's how we know that you're talking to people, which is a good thing. So please do not be afraid to send us screenshots, to ask for questions, to ask for clarification, because we want you guys to be successful. And that's why we do these trainings for you guys too. So thank you guys so much for getting on. This was so fun. I hope everyone has a great night. So Stormy said, sorry, real quick. Stormy said, so right now I have no one else I can message. So here's what I would say, Stormy. And I completely understand, because my first months of the business, I literally messaged every single person on my Facebook like the first week. And yeah, it got me like 7 customers, but it basically ruined the rest of the people, the 300, 400 people that I had on my Facebook. So, you just have to, yes, you have to just focus on, instead of spending time messaging, you're going to spend time growing your Facebook, growing your Instagram, interacting with those people, make sure you're posting, and then just make sure you're staying organized with who is responding back to you. That way you can follow up with them. So don't fret. It is not the end of the world. You will get there. And I had the exact same thing happen to me, where I had to spend some time literally just adding people and interacting and posting. And I was only messaging the people who liked my posts. And it was basically a follow-up because I had messaged them before. So yes, just take a messaging break. Yep, exactly. Yep, you should watch the posting training that I did. It's on my YouTube under Hope Weston, or I shared it in the chat yesterday. We did a posting training on Tuesday that will be very helpful to anyone that is new. So thank you guys so much. I hope you guys have an awesome night, and I'll talk to you guys soon.